Thanks for coming to hear the Quart on the Street. I am made up of 46% oxygen, 27% silicone, 8% carbon, 5% iron, and 14% other stuff like coolness and kickassery. I also breathe 78% nitrogen, 28% oxygen, and 1% sick Healy's tricks, which may not seem like a lot, but it's actually quite a lot coming from me, your Earth host Vince. And to put it simply, he doesn't use the cookie cutter approach. One of his idiosyncrasies is that when he reassesses the situation, decides that you are not a priority for this time, he just says, "Let me elaborate further," and tells you that all things considered, this plan of action for today is to compile a body of work that we can use to think laterally. It's a conundrum, really, that this matter is of imperative attention. He is your brain host, Josh. And I'm going to come at you with a fun fact right off the tip here. My fun fact is that 1% of the Earth's atmosphere's mass is about 44.4 trillion pairs of Heelys. So being made up of 1% sick Heelys tricks really is nothing to sneeze at.
I want to know who did the math on that.
I did.
You did?
I did, yeah. The Earth's atmosphere is about 5.5 quadrillion tons.
He's a fucking nerd.
And then you take 1% of that. I went with the heaviest pair of Heelys just to keep the numbers sort of reasonable. So figure 3 pounds per pair of Heelys. Convert that to tons is like 0.1% of a ton. All right, starting this episode off strong with just math. Do you have a fun fact for me?
Of course I do. What do you think? That's my job. Of course I came prepared.
Incredible.
So obviously you've seen the movie The Titanic.
The one about the boat?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you remember the scene in the movie where the person's sketching the girl?
Yeah. That's Kate Winslet, right?
Uh-huh. Those sketches are done by none other than James Cameron.
No.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of neat that he actually did his own sketches for the movie.
Yeah, those are kind of neat little tidbits when something like that comes up.
Yeah, it's like not something you would think about.
Is in the movie Seven. You know, the movie Seven with Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
All the like notebooks that they find that have this like really cramped, like, you know, psychopath writing in it. Yeah. Those were all made by David Fincher. So yeah, it's always fun.
Cool. Yeah.
And let's go ahead and get into the episode, I guess. Anything else you want to bring up? Like, how's your week been or whatever?
Good. Just had a nice birthday dinner for my father. You know, turned 79 years old. Happy 29th. Today. Yeah. Yeah, he's going backwards. That's what I asked him. Mm-hmm. You know, I was like, "Are you going backwards now?" He's like, yeah.
I've already been 29 for 4 years, so
yeah. So it was good. Got all the siblings together and went out and had a nice dinner.
Very nice.
Try to make it a point even more so now. You know, getting older and stuff. Try to make sure we don't miss any opportunities to all get together and celebrate. You know, something like that.
Absolutely. It's all good fun.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that, we'll get straight into the episode then. We are Quart on the Street, Josh over there, and I.
Hi.
Each pick one word from the 28 words generated from the puzzle word game Quirtle from the previous week. This week, our words are coming from October 16th to the 22nd. So we're picking one of those. We talk about whatever the hell we can based on those. And I'm going first this week. I just went pretty straightforward on this one, actually. Well, maybe straightforward. We'll see what you think. But I went with the word tease. Mm-hmm. And with that word, I think like teasers, teaser trailers, you know, and that got me thinking about like some really great marketing campaigns that I remember.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely do.
So I figured we'd, you know, take like the major categories, see if there's a sort of marketing campaign that we remember from each of them. I was thinking about starting with video games. Do you have like a favorite sort of ad campaign for a video game that you remember?
I do. Hold on one second. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up.
Before you do, can I guess it? Can I try to guess it?
Sure, you can try to guess it while I'm looking.
Is it going to be Modern Warfare 2?
Yep. It's the best one, dude.
It's very good.
That their integration of the Eminem's song into that trailer is
the M&Ms, also the M&Ms, the red M&M and the yellow M&M. They couldn't have the green M&M because she was a little too saucy.
Yeah, it was just like perfect timing. Like he was in such relevance at the time, and like,
yeah,
you know, he was riding off the 8 Mile movie wave, Losing Yourself track. It's actually funny. I was just kind of a little side jump from here, but watching a TikTok or someone was trying to think of what the most well-known rap verse of all time is, and it's like it's a 3-minute video, and he like narrows it down to there's a very good chance that it is the opening verse to Lose Yourself is the most
Definitely
well-known
is.
rap verse of all time. He's like, it's so well known that like people our age and older know it and younger kids know it, whereas like, you know, the ones that we might understand and hear and recognize, like, you know, some of the Run DMC things like that you know came out in really early 90s or, you know, late 80s, like we'd recognize them, but how many people could actually sing the verse to it?
Right.
That is just like everybody. You start mouthing that verse, almost everybody in the room's finishing it.
Well, even on top of that, like how many other rap tracks have like solidified a new phrase in English, you know? Like you can say "Mom's spaghetti" and everybody knows exactly the context.
Yep.
And it's like I don't know, there's probably those phrases that come from rap. I'm sure Biggie came up with a lot of them, but still, like, that's what does that mean before Eminem releases that track? What does "Mom's spaghetti" mean? It means literally nothing.
Yeah, it literally means somebody's mother's spaghetti.
Yeah.
But that's like the only
Madonna, your mom's spaghetti. But yeah, that's a good pick, especially that I'm assuming that the particular trailer you're thinking of is the one like what does it start with, helicopters?
Yeah, it starts out with like the thermal imaging. Yeah, like the night vision imaging from the helicopter above. Yeah, to like collapse. Oh man,
collapse.
That entire trailer was so good. It was like it also helps because it was like peak Call of Duty time. Like it did. Like Call of Duty 4 was kind of like, you know, the break in to multiplayer for most people, and then, you know, we were kind of having you know, an upward trend, and then World at War I feel like came out and we had kind of a straight off, you know, kind of plateaued if you will, and then and that's just because it was set in old school, you know, World War II era. Like it was still fun, but it just didn't have the hype that playing something like COD 4 did, I wouldn't say. And then the MW2, like everyone was so excited for Infinity Ward. They had a great community manager, Robert Bowling, who's actually in the process of making a video game with Dr. Disrespect currently. Yeah, he's involved there. So he did a really good job of like bridging people together.
Sure.
So I would say that
it's
him doing that really helped.
Kind of hard to overstate how big this game drop was too. Like
that was massive.
Halo 3 comes out in 2007, right? Modern Warfare 2 comes out in 2009. I would say that like Halo 3 was probably still the biggest game launch at the time and was probably one of the highest played games just in general at any given point in time. So this game comes along, Modern Warfare 2, they like make their lobby system better, just like quality of life stuff, and this is maybe the game that like really catapulted Call of Duty into like the superstar success that it is today. Modern Warfare, the first one, was like a good, you know, like setup to it, but Modern Warfare 2, I feel like it really popped off starting then.
So I don't know how accurate these numbers are just because I'm, you know, pulling them from a wiki. But if this kind of puts it in perspective, Halo 3 on its release in the first 24 hours sold 2.7 million copies.
Okay.
Modern
that was like
Warfare
massive. That was like
Yeah, it was
newsworthy.
huge. Modern Warfare 2 sold approximately 4.7 million copies in the first 24 hours.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing how quick Halo sort of went down.
Mm-hmm.
Like after ODST came out or whatever.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And yeah, this campaign really capitalized on sort of Halo fatigue that people were getting.
See, I feel like it's really tough because, like, you know, most of these bigger games now, they're free. You know, you don't have to pay for them. You just download them. Because it's like, I wonder what something like Fortnite did in the first 24 hours. Like, how many downloads did Fortnite have in the first 24 hours?
Not a lot. Fortnite was like a slow burn, right? Did they just have Save the World, or they were working on Save the World and they released the Battle Royale?
No, they had the other one, but I mean, when the Battle Royale released,
right?
What was the?
But that came out of nowhere. I don't think that was like a big launch.
No, it wasn't. So apparently, Fortnite, being it wasn't a big title from anywhere else, had 3.7 million downloads during the first 7 days.
Yeah.
And that's free. Now, granted, you know, the Call of Duty is banking off the fact that they're a franchise and they've been around a while, so that's definitely propping up sales. And people could pre-order. You got a long time, you know, all that stuff adds into, you know, you give people long enough to kind of, you know, lay away their games, more people buy it. So yeah, that plays a huge factor into it, but it's just crazy. And it's nuts to think about because, like, those do seem like small numbers. Like 4.7 million units seems small, but it's not. And like in
24 hours?
It still seems small in 24 hours when you think of like how many people are out there now to play. It's just
what was the number?
4.7 million.
4.7.
Because it's global. It's not like US only.
So let's see if we could make it seem big. 4.7 times 60.
Yeah.
It's $282 million.
Yeah, in 24 hours.
In the first 24 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, that's not nothing. Like, they sound like small numbers because we're used to measuring things in like the amount of money that it makes.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of money.
Crazy too. I don't know if we'll ever experience something like this again too, because it's just it was a different time. So like you didn't get to download your games back then. Yeah, you had to go get it. So like there was lines wrapped around the mall.
Oh yeah, ain't nobody lining up anymore
to get Modern Warfare 2 at midnight. People you weren't getting the game and getting home till 2 a.m. because there was so many people in line to get it. So it's like, that's just crazy to think about. Like, most younger people will never experience like the midnight release.
Didn't we do a midnight release?
Yeah,
something.
Yeah,
was it for Modern Warfare 2?
I don't remember if you were there. I was there. I went, but I was with Ryzik and Dave.
Okay.
I don't remember if you came or not.
I don't know if I would have.
I don't think so, but we definitely did midnight releases. I think a couple of them, like at GameStop and Herkimer.
I can't remember what for.
Huh. I don't either, to be honest with you.
Must not have been that important.
Wasn't as good as Modern Warfare 2. It was also, I think, the first time that they did the campaign with Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Oh, sure.
So
that's big. That's big news.
Having the huge push where you got the XP bonuses from the codes that you got off of Mountain Dew and Doritos. So like, you know, for the first or the 3 weeks before the game was coming out, people are just pounding Mountain Dew and Doritos, getting as many of these codes as they can to get double XP for it. So like, it was such a huge marketing campaign that made that push so big. I can only imagine if we could have the same scale of people playing video games we do now, but relive that again, how big it would be. Like if Modern Warfare 2 came out for the first time ever, and we didn't have any of the games that have happened previous, like if our only recollection of Call of Duty is, you know, COD 4 or before, and the same amount of people now that are playing video games experience that for the first time, oh my god, I can only imagine how many sales that's having.
There's only one way to know. Activision Blizzard's gonna have to go back to all physical copies. So you have to buy games in person. Fucking do it, you cowards. I don't know if Activision probably is Activision releasing Call of Duties. Am I thinking that right?
Yeah,
okay.
Activision Blizzard owns them. Yeah.
I don't know why I was second guessing myself on that. I knew that. I guessed yours, but it's not my pick.
Okay.
Mine, I think, has to be Borderlands 2.
Borderlands 2 was a good one as well.
I mean, we fucking played so much Borderlands. Borderlands 2's coming out. I gotta get it. I still have the like numbered loot chest thing. Yeah. Like I did the big boy pre-order on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is one of the ones. I don't remember it being that way, but I could imagine that we would have done a midnight release for Borderlands 2.
We definitely did.
Yeah, because I got the standee. I got a box. I got like a promotional box from GameStop for Borderlands 2.
Yeah, because I also got the chest. I don't have it anymore, but I also had that.
You silly.
And then I want to say I got it for somebody else too while we were there.
Maybe you did. Yeah, I don't know.
I think Shane might have gotten it as well. Could be wrong though. But yeah, I think you're right. I think we did do Borderlands 2.
It's the only one like I said, I still can't remember. It's the only one that I was like, he must have done that one at least.
You know what it is? It's like they just did such a good job of like the writing in the game that it made the IP exciting, and they could just use their characters to market it. So like having like the little videos of like Claptrap saying stuff or doing those. I can remember doing the Claptrap like picture contest that I did it at Replay. Yeah, it was like you had to take this like paper cutout and make this like 3D paper cutout Claptrap, like tape it all together and like place it into a scene and like take a picture of it. And I did mine at the bathroom at work, and I had like made like an eye to make it look like the toilet was a robot and put a mustache on it. And I put name tags on it, and I was like, I wish I could. I might be able to still find the picture. If I can, I'll put it in the Discord for this episode. But it was him, like the little paper Claptrap sitting next to the toilet on the ground with a little speech bubble coming off of him that says, "Teach me your ways, old wise," or "Teach me your ways, wise one." And he had the name tag on him that said Claptrap, spelled out with like the characters the way they do. And then the toilet had a name tag on it that was Crap Trap.
Crap Trap. Yeah.
And I like doing that was so fun. That was just such a good experience for a game. Plus we went to PAX and we were able to meet Randy Pitchford and talk to him, and like I got them to sign my lanyard and stuff, and like listen to the panel talk about the different ways of writing for each character and kind of how they approached each one's personality different, and try to like bounce that person's dialogue off of a different person within the team so that every character had a unique feel. It was a really good experience listening to them talk about that process there. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah. We really one of these years we'll get back to PAX.
I was just talking to my sister about it actually.
Yeah.
Tonight at dinner, yeah. Because my nephew is he's 12 and really into video games. He's doing track right now, but he's about to finish it. And he told my sister he doesn't want to do it next year. Like he still likes running and he's going to run with her because she runs all the time. But he doesn't really like the competition portion of it, like waiting around, running and that stuff. Like he likes going to practice and running with all of his friends and like, but like the meet portion we can do without. So he told her that apparently they're offering some kind of after school coding thing that they're going to be offering, like learning how to code stuff. So he wants to do that. But I told her it would be really cool one of these years, either next year or the year after, buy Friday passes, like because it's nothing she will care about, obviously. Not really her cup of tea, but I know that she would endure it for something that he would love. So figured we could go out there for a Friday pass, do that all day. She'll kind of have to suffer through it, and then we'll stay over, and then Saturday we can just go around Boston and stuff, do some more things that she would like. But I think he would really enjoy it. So if we do that, you can I'll let you know. You can come along with us.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize. I'm clicking around on the PAX website. I realized they started a new expo.
Really?
Called PAX Unplugged.
Yeah. And
it is a convention dedicated to tabletop games.
Oh god, that's right up your
Yeah.
When/where is that one?
It is in December in Philadelphia.
Oh, that
So
might
if it stays in Philadelphia, I'm gonna try to go to this next year.
Yeah, I bet you. I mean, it's not really like something I'm super into, but I would still go. I'm sure Sky would probably enjoy it.
Yeah, we'd try to get Sky,
Get the group,
get everybody.
Yeah, it'd be a fun time.
Oh, this would be cool. Okay. Anyway,
trying to think of other games that have had like impactful releases for me.
I can remember like certain trailers that I liked, mostly ones that we played behind the counter.
Yeah,
replay yep. like the trailer for Mercenaries.
Oh my god, that one played it over and over and over and over and over again.
Yep. That trailer for BioShock Infinite with the Nico Case song.
Yeah,
that's how I learned about Nico Case.
Trying to think of some other.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can think of games that like just had a lot of hype around them. Like Diablo 3 just had a lot of hype, right?
Yeah.
But it was riding off of Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
So the Portal 2 campaign with all the like the instructional videos, little figures like leaping in and explained all the stuff. Ooh, yeah. That was a good campaign too.
Oh, you know which one I didn't think about until now? Pokemon Go. Their release campaign and everything to like get it out so that people know, like that has to be it has to hold some kind of record for most downloads in a day.
Yeah, probably.
I wonder if we can find that data. If we can, I'll put it in the Discord for people to look at, but like I can't imagine that doesn't hold some kind of record for downloads in a day, because I mean that took everything by storm.
Seems reasonable.
Let's see what else would be.
I looked up a list of like most successful campaigns. Number 3, Angry Birds. Like, okay, sure. Oh man, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, Grand Theft Autos are always pretty hype. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. That actually, yeah, the Metal Gear Solid games usually have pretty good campaigns too, right? Like,
yeah, they have really good trailers. It's just such a small, like, niche game in comparison. But yeah, I mean, they're really well done.
Now I think it is, but like Metal Gear Solid 4 was huge.
It's only huge because it was a release game.
Oh, that's a good point.
It was bundled with the thing. Don't get me wrong, Metal Gear is my franchise of choice, but I'm not delusional. It fails to hold any candle to most big name franchises. But it being a PlayStation exclusive and launching with the PS4 basically made it, have substantial success, because a lot of people, it was kind of like the same way now, like you couldn't get a PS5 for how long? It was like PS4, you got what you could get. So there was people that were getting the Metal Gear Solid bundle because that's what they could get, and those people had never heard of it before. And it's just great because it introduced them to the franchise.
But what a game to introduce them to the franchise.
Oh yeah.
The like 45-minute cutscene. Yeah.
This is a segue away from video games for it, but let me see if I can find this trailer, or commercial, because it definitely something that sticks in my head when I think about it.
Okay. Are we moving on to the next category? Are you thinking of a movie or a TVs?
Neither.
Okay.
Just an overall campaign.
Well, start thinking in the back of your mind, your movies and TVs.
I'm thinking.
Yeah. What you got for me, though? What are you looking up?
I'm trying to, but my internet is apparently deciding it doesn't want to work as much.
Discord must be too heavy.
Here we go. And you know what? We can do this new feature in Discord.
New feature?
Yeah. So now I can
watch together. Join activity. Oh my god.
Are you able to
see
this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it plays off of your stuff, and I'm not streaming it. I just control the player for you.
Wait, are you playing it?
I'm about to.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, this is a good one.
For everybody watching, we'll have this in the Discord, but it's a Pepsi commercial, old school one where a kid is trying to get a Pepsi get a drink out of a vending machine, and he puts the money in and gets a Coke out of it. And then he puts more money in and gets another Coke out of it. And he puts them both down on the ground and he stands on them to be high enough to reach getting the Pepsi out of the machine. And that one just that always sticks with me.
Brutal.
Because it was such a subtle jab at him, but so impactful.
That's not subtle. They use the Coca-Cola logos and everything. They're like, fucking deal with it, bitch.
I mean, it's subtle in the fact of it's not like they're not really talking bad about it. It's just the act of doing it. You could tell what they're trying to achieve with it. It's just really well done, well written, well shot.
I saw like someone walking up to a vending machine, and I kind of expected it to be the Mountain Dew can launching vending machine.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Because that's a good one too. And the guy from Mythbusters is the one that like made that machine, so it would show up in Mythbusters every so often. Jamie.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to movies. Do you have any like movie campaigns that you can remember just like blowing you away, like hyping you up for a movie so good? Ideally, it pays off on the hype. I can go first on this one.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
This one, hands down for me, this one's Cloverfield. I like got into the marketing campaign for that movie. I didn't quite realize what was going on with it, and I didn't really play through the ARG, but like that was the first campaign to really have like mainstream success within ARG. I kind of just realized that it was like something going on, like it was a happening. It was, finally a new monster movie, and that hyped me for it. And I love that movie. I know it's divisive because a lot of people don't like the camera work in it. It's like a shoulder cam.
I despised it.
See, I don't know. I loved that. It was, I like a lot of that. I think it's a type of media that I like found footage, found audio.
Yeah.
Sorts of stuff. I'm actually thinking like The Witness, the video game, does a lot of that. There's like audio logs from, I don't know, people just laying around the island. You go around and like find them. It's a very, very cool thing. You get nothing from it because it's The Witness, but so yeah, that's my obvious pick for like a movie campaign.
Here's mine.
Okay.
That I can remember. Do you know which one that I'm talking about?
Probably not.
So this is for Toy Story 3. They made a bunch of like retro toy commercials.
It's got the tracking lines.
Yep. So they made all these retro toy commercials to promote Toy Story 3.
Wow. And then it doesn't show the Huggin' Bear trying to euthanize all that little girl's other toys.
Nope. But I just remember seeing those, and like obviously Toy Story was a huge franchise. One of my favorite animated series. So seeing those, and like I was really excited for it because I felt like 2 was kind of a letdown in a lot of instances in comparison.
Right. I think we discussed this before, and it turns out we are like wrong in that. Right? Like, doesn't Toy Story 2 have like the highest Rotten Tomato score?
Maybe.
Because I'm of the same opinion. We already talked about this on the show, but we're of the same opinion on this, that 2 was the most lackluster. But I think we were like objectively wrong about that.
I mean, if that's the case, then we're not wrong. People just don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Not that there's any objectiveness to it.
I'm willing to die on that.
Yep.
Yeah. Toy Story 2, 100%.
That's
Toy Story
important.
1. Toy Story 1, 100%.
Okay,
Toy Story 3,
cool.
98%.
Audience scores. What's audience scores?
Let me see. Toy Story 2 audience score. Well, when it decides to load, I will let you know.
I'm sure that
87 for something. Toy Story 2, 92 for Toy Story 1.
Oh, there we go. We're right.
Score
on. 1 for
I'm trying to get
2 of us.
Trying to get Toy Story 3. What do we got for Toy Story 3? Come on. Chamao 90. So we were not wrong,
Wow.
not by a large margin, but
Not by a
correct.
faint wind or a storm breeze.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's wait. Yeah, Toy Story 3. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, I mean, and just if anybody hasn't seen it, what are you waiting for? Because, great franchise.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, that lots of hugging bear that commercial that you brought up was very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little really creepy too.
It was creepy, but it was like, I don't know. It felt like home, as weird as that seems for it being creepy. Yeah. But like, I remember watching commercials like that when I was a kid. So like,
it's creepy now.
Yeah. No, it was creepy back then too.
Okay.
I mean, it was definitely out of place. I think Toy Story 3 came out in what, like 2000 and...
You're the one who just looked them up.
I didn't look up the date.
You had the whole page up.
Yeah, I didn't look. 2010. So like, media was way farther.
So that was it's like 20 years retro.
Yeah. So it was like,
wow.
Really, really hitting that nostalgia factor for people that are our age that grew up watching that and like remembering the tracking lines on television and that kind of stuff that would happen. So I mean, you don't really ever see that now.
No, outside of like the horror genre. No.
Yeah. Yep.
Like that's what it is now. It's creepy because that is basically like horror. Someone finds an old tape that doesn't track quite right, and then fucking mummy jumps out of the floorboards because they were watching the tape. Like, oh no, my house was built on a ancient pyramid. Oh no. Whatever horror movies do these days, I'm assuming it's that.
Yeah.
How about TV? Do you have any sort of like hype TV?
Not really.
Stuff?
I'm kind of weird because I thought about this the other day because obviously I've seen a ton of television now. I didn't watch much TV when I was younger at all. So like, I didn't watch any shows when I was younger as they were on television. Like none, except for Dragon Ball Z. Like,
oh.
And like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, that kind of stuff. But like as I got older, like I didn't watch any show all the way through. So
yeah,
I think I might be in a weird thing where like, I don't know, once I found video games and like computer, I stopped watching TV because a lot of the time it was like my parents watched like the news, like Jeopardy and like all that kind of stuff. And like, I wasn't interested in any of that. So like, as soon as by the time I was old enough to care about watching that stuff, I had already found the internet. So like, I was playing video games, watching YouTube videos, doing that kind. I was on AIM for 8 hours after school, talking to people. Have no idea what we talked about or why I was talking to people that I literally only talked to on AOL Instant Messenger. But
well, it doesn't have to be from back then though. Like my pick for a TV like campaign is not.
I find out. I mean, I don't watch anything now, so like I find out about stuff by happenstance most of the time.
Yeah, same.
Like I would like to give credit to The Bear for being a wonderful show and say that their campaign is what got me. I found out about it because of a review by somebody I follow on TikTok talking about the show, and once I heard the premise of it, I watched it. It's like,
yeah,
if people are the best campaign now,
yeah, right.
They really are. I mean, obviously the creator market is super driven, and that's what they're using mostly to market people now. Trying to think if there's any.
For me, it's all like modern shows. Like you, I didn't watch very much. Like when I was younger, I think Lost is the only show that I really watched as it aired, and I dropped off that at some point. I wish that I hadn't. I wish I would have experienced that sort of like in real time. But I went back, and I like Lost. Get over it.
I was good. I mean, the ending was. I can agree. The ending was kind of
the Lost haters.
Ending was The overall show was great.
Yeah. But then it's like more modern stuff than that is all the stuff that I'm thinking about. Like Loki, the lead up to Loki was really awesome.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
The marketing campaign for the Watchmen show, I think, is probably what takes it for me, though. Like, just leading up to it, it's Watchmen. They're going back, reliving the comics in order to sort of set the tone. It was really awesome.
You know what? I think I would just have to say, like, all the Disney Marvel stuff. Like, they do a really good job of. I mean, granted, it's like the brand entices me because I enjoy Marvel stuff, but they also do a really good job at making the trailers and teasers like super engaging. So like the ones for Falcon and Winter Soldier, like super good. The Miss Marvel, like I didn't know anything about that. I even like started to not kind of like it right off the beginning, but because I liked the trailer so much, I gave it a chance. I ended up really liking that. She-Hulk, they did a really good job of getting me interested in that enough to where like I subscribed to Disney to like watch it. Yeah. So they did something right.
Yeah. I mean, She-Hulk was so good. It's funny because for anybody playing at home, take a shot because I said it's funny that my apparently favorite phrase. But whatever. What is funny is that I didn't watch She-Hulk for quite a while, like until, I don't know, 4 or 5 episodes came out or something like that. Just was busy.
Yeah.
So I saw people like freaking out about it, and I saw the more unsavory parts of the internet flipping out. Can you believe that they had She-Hulk twerk and this and that and blah blah blah? And I watched, when I actually got around to watching it, like it's an after credits thing and it takes 10 seconds. And I'm like, why are people getting so upset about this?
Well, and I struggle to have any kind of rational thought when I see people like that, because they're making it relevant. Like it has to feel like it belongs in this time period.
Yeah, right.
Like they want something to be viral. They want people to watch it. They want to have a ton of conversation because that's how you get more eyes on your product. And twerking's a big thing, and it's funny. Like it was very tasteful. I'm not normally a huge fan of characters breaking the fourth wall, but they did a really good job with it in that show, I feel like.
That show did it in a cool way.
Yeah, I really liked it. And I wasn't expecting to.
Yeah.
But I was willing to give it a shot, and it did not disappoint. I'm trying to think if there was any other ones that were super standoutish for me. I think it didn't. This one's not for me, but I could see that it worked really well. I could say the campaign they did for Better Call Saul was hugely successful.
What did Vince mean by this?
It was
I don't know. I wasn't about to watch Better Call Saul after Breaking Bad.
Oh, I know you're not, but you're the minority in this take.
I know. But it's so weird seeing people treat Better Call Saul the same way that they did Breaking Bad.
I didn't watch it, so like it didn't get me, but like the campaign was funny. I didn't care for his character enough to go watch it. Like I had seen Breaking Bad, previously, and there was too much of a gap where I cared to go back like into that kind of, universe.
Yeah, sure.
But I think they did a really good job with it.
Yeah, they sure did. Sorry, I'm looking through like just TV shows.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough for me the campaign. Like, I don't really like. There's very few where I remember the campaign.
Yeah, I know. TV shows especially. That is weird. I could remember like between season campaigns. Like
we know what it is.
The Game of Thrones marketing between seasons was incredible.
I think the problem with TV shows is most of the time it's clips and things from the TV show, so they just kind of like get muddied into your memories of the actual show.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Where it's not a standalone piece of comic or content that makes you feel some type of way, because it's pieces that you end up seeing later that frame something. So like you might remember that it was part of it, but you remember how you felt seeing it in the TV show, not specifically in the campaign.
Right. the way that I'm thinking about it is the TV shows like takes place over a longer period of time.
Yeah.
That show itself stays in your mind for a lot longer than the movie does.
Yeah. It takes that space with that memory that you would have of it has been replaced.
Overwrites it.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to say that's all for my topic.
Alrighty.
That was fun, and I don't have a loose end.
Oh.
Tied everything up this week. Also, my brain is broken.
Okay, so you know what? Then I'll tell you what. We'll start my stuff with my loose end.
Ooh.
Just to break up the words, give the viewers, listeners a little bit of a break between topics.
A palate cleanser.
Yeah, nice little palate cleanser, if you will. For my loose end, I decided that we would do another draft because they're just fun. And if you don't like it, then I don't like you.
And you're a big old.
You're a big old.
Then I hope that you step in every puddle that you try to walk over for the next 15 years.
I hope every one of your shoes is a left shoe for the rest of your life.
I hope that you get lost in IKEA.
Oh, oof. It's just mean. So for this week's loose end, we're gonna do the most likable people draft, or most likable celebrities draft.
Most likable.
Yep. So not what you like, but like the ones that like nobody hates them. I will let you go first since it's my question.
Okay. I was going to bring this up during the video game debate, or not debate, whatever we just did for video games. But the campaign for Cyberpunk was like incredibly successful.
Yeah.
And I would say like 50% of it was Keanu Reeves.
Yep. Everyone loves Keanu Reeves. There's no not loving him.
He's undeniable.
Yep, undeniable. That's a great first pick. I think him not being taken first by one of us would have been a huge mistake. So I respect
been an insult. Yeah.
Yeah. With my first pick, I'm gonna have to take Adam Sandler.
Okay.
He's just nobody hates Adam Sandler, and I mean you might not like his content, but like him as a person, like he walks around in regular old basketball shorts and a beat up t-shirt. He goes to the random basketball courts throughout America, depending on where he works, and just plays basketball with random people. Like,
what a dude.
He has so much fame. Like, I mean, you got to think, like, he's got, like, what, 35 years plus, probably, of, maybe not that long, but close, of success. And nothing, I mean, like, nothing got to his head.
Now I got to look up when Billy Madison came out.
Like, he hasn't had any of that go to his head.
Wait.
He's just humble.
What would be Adam Sandler's first, like, big movie?
I don't know.
Box office successes. Billy Madison. So 95.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean he's 27 years.
Oh yeah. Coming up on 30 years that he's been famous. Holy hell.
Yeah. And I mean here's the thing is like that's his box office success in 95, but he was also in Coneheads in 93.
Yeah.
His first movie is utterly horrible.
You've told me before.
Oh man, anybody do yourself a favor, do not watch Going Overboard. It was just not good at all.
Yeah, I grilled Josh on this. It's not even bad enough to be good. It's not bad enough to circle back around.
No, not even close. It's just horrifically bad. Yep. So Adam Sandler. Okay. That's my pick.
My next pick. We're going with second is the best. Tony Hawk.
Oh, what a good choice. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, he is. His just Twitter presence is incredible. Just telling stories about people who mistake him for Tony Hawk.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like, he doesn't get recognized. He's like the most famous person, except people do recognize him. They just go, "Are you Tony Hawk? You kind of look like Tony Hawk." And he's got such a good attitude about it.
Yep, he is great. All right. For my second pick, I'm going to go with one that might be controversial. Some people might not like him, but the vast majority love him. And that is Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah. Does anybody not like Ryan Reynolds? How could?
There's some people that think he's douchey,
Okay.
or fake, but
Huh.
I know one person that doesn't like him is. Do you remember the movie She's Out of My League?
Yeah.
It
With
has
Brooklyn Decker?
maybe.
No. Not important.
One of the comedians in there, he plays a character named Stainer. In there, that's the first time I'd ever seen him. Well, apparently he's in Deadpool. He plays like the bartender or whatever in Deadpool.
Oh, are you talking about T.J. Miller?
Yeah, T.J. Miller hates Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, yeah. T.J. Miller's a wacky dude, though.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Is like he's a weirdo.
Funny. I like him. He's like the first comedian that like introduced me to absurdist humor.
Yeah.
Really. On his podcast, he would do this segment called Donkey and the Jeff. It was like a shock jock who has an animal companion, except the animal companion is Donkey and he is the Jeff because Donkey is the main guy and the Jeff is the sidekick. So it's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, he is an actual weirdo.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was figuring.
All right. Okay, Shaq.
What a good choice.
Taking Shaq. You
can't not like Shaq. I think one of my favorite things that I learned recently about Shaq, watching an interview he did somewhere, he talks about how when he was in the league, he'd go into these meetings for like sponsorship stuff and like brand deals, and all the big wig people would like be like, "Hey, hi Shaq, how's it going?" and then immediately turn their attention to his lawyers and stuff because they're like, "Well, he's just a stupid player. He doesn't know anything." And he's like, from that point on, I could they didn't take me seriously. So I decided they don't think I understand. So he's like, I'm going to go get my master's in business. And he went to University of Phoenix, and their master's for business is like mostly online program. But he didn't want to do online. So he called and he's like, look, I don't want to do it online. They were like, sir, we can't just do a single class for one person. Their class has to at least have 15. So he paid for 15 of his friends to go get their masters.
Yeah.
That's just, that's just such a good hearted story.
Yeah. And anytime I see anything about the Shaq brand.
Oh, dude.
That Walmart sells. I remember someone making fun of him for having budget, Jordan knockoffs. And he was like, you don't understand. That's the whole point of them. I've provided, millions of pairs of shoes to a lot of poor kids. It's
yeah. I mean, he was able to take his brand and provide something with a better purpose, not just try to don't get me wrong, he made a lot of money from it. I'm sure. But he didn't do it in a way where it felt like I'm going after it for the money. It was more directed as how can we get something that is desirable to the youth because of my my dominance in the league and their interest in the NBA and me as a player. How can I provide something to them, make them want it, but have it be an affordable price where their parents don't have to work an extra job or skip out on something to be able to afford, hundreds of dollars on a pair of shoes.
Yep. Even in his more recent business dealings, like the Papa John's thing, right? They kick Papa John out and Shaq is like, all right, I'll go ahead and just take all those restaurants. Now, now they're not racist anymore.
Yeah.
But I think he bought a majority of them of the Papa John's restaurants.
Yeah, he bought a ton. He's just such a good dude.
Yep.
Okay,
all right. You got number 3.
My number 3 pick, I'm going with Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it just explains itself. I don't know if you need to say much else other than that.
Yeah, I mean, he's Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, he's just an icon. He just doesn't do things to piss people off. I mean, he's just the voice.
I'm gonna take Jim Gaffigan.
Ooh, I don't know if I would have suspected that one.
Yeah, I can't remember any. I mean, he's a comedian who has avoided major scandals, and he's clean. You can throw on one of his specials no matter who's around, and I don't know. his wife is his like editor on the shows that he does and stuff.
Yeah.
Or something. She's the writer for him, something like that, but it's just incredible.
That's kind of how I feel about somebody else as well. You know what? I'll just take him now too. We'll make this the comedy. Bert Kreischer.
Okay.
He's kind of the same thing where avoided scandals come up. Like his wife is super involved with the business stuff. Like he came up at the same time as Dane Cook, but was not known at all until he had like finally got a break on something. But he had done like SNL and all those other things, just like really putting his time in the craft. And he's just unapologetically him, and he's funny. I know his humor isn't for everybody, but like his humor centers around himself. So I think he avoids those controversial things by, most of his stuff is inflecting on him or his life. So it makes it easier to avoid the scandalous stuff.
Yeah, it's funny because it's funny again. So I think what he mostly got popular from, like, yes, he came up with Dane Cook, but he got popular when Joe Rogan got popular, right? Like he was on the Joe Rogan Experience a lot.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of people don't like him simply for that association.
Yeah, there's some people that don't because of that.
Which is also funny because, like, yeah, Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura are like two just like cool dudes. Yeah, they have this one wacky friend.
Yep.
But like, I don't know, they are sort of unimpeachable.
Well, and here's the thing: it's like at the end of the day, we know what we hear. What we're allowed to hear. They have a much more personal relationship with Joe, so they could know him. They know him completely differently than how we see him. So yeah, I feel like it's hard to hold that against somebody in that aspect. But yeah, I mean, same thing. Like he's just good. He's just funny. And always himself. I don't know if you've happened to see any of his interviews, things that he's done, or podcasts that he's been on, but he did a podcast with Andrew Schultz, and obviously Bert's big moment was the machine. I'm sure you've seen that skit. And, with the whole Russia, fuck that bitch, this is Russia kind of deal. So he happens to go on and do this, so they bring up talking about the machine. And of course, Andrew Schultz he's like, Bert, I got some presents for you. And he gives him a I Love Russia t-shirt and like one of the Russian like pullover hats where they cover, I forget what they're called, the ones where like they cover down your ears, like the
like a bomber ones. Hat.
Yeah, like a bomber hat. That and like just everything to make it seem like he's just 100% behind Russia, and he's just sitting there laughing, like almost crying that they did this to him because it's something that he would do. And, and he's just unapologetically like almost crying with how funny he thinks it is. I'm like,
his laugh is incredible. Also,
it's infectious. Like that, it makes you want to laugh.
That one moment on Two Bears One Cave where Tom realizes that Bert is drinking like a gallon of Kool-Aid every day.
Yeah, all Kool-Aid.
I laughed watching them laugh about that for so long.
He had a Kool-Aid flavored beer that he brought with him to Andrew Schultz's thing.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I gotta pick a number 5.
You do.
Shit. Most likable. Wow, I like ran out of...
He said people don't like anyone else. We're done.
I ran out of super likable, like, popular choices. I think I'm gonna take Gary Oldman.
Okay, respectable.
I don't know. He's likable as an actor. I don't know anything about his personal life, but like he's incredible in basically every character role that he takes.
I honestly expected you to take like Robert Pattinson or like a Steve Buscemi or something like that.
Nah, not Robert Pattinson. I like him. I don't think he's like the most likable. People still think he's the Twilight guy.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go with one that I can't believe slipped all the way to the 5th spot.
All right, let's have it. I'm gonna kick myself.
The Rock. Everyone, like, he is. Yeah, you might not like him, but he is very well liked.
I don't like his work. I do like him.
That's what I'm saying. It's not about his work. It's about him.
I know.
He's a pretty good dude.
All of his ad campaigns, whenever him and Kevin Hart are in a movie together, I'll watch the ad campaigns and refuse to watch the movie. Because the movie's not going to be good, but the ad campaign is going to be better than the movie.
There's a couple movies that are funny that he's in that I did enjoy, but yes, there's definitely some. I'm actually kind of struggling to get into Black Adam. I know I'm going to have to watch it, but I don't know. It's weird seeing him in that villain-esque role for me.
I know nothing about it.
Yeah, well,
I have not seen an ad or a trailer or anything.
Okay. Got 2 honorable mentions before we move on that didn't make it into my list. George Clooney. And Mila Kunis. Both are pretty good, you know.
Mila Kunis is okay. George Clooney's a little too rich to be likable anymore.
I don't think so. It's a lot of really rich. He's just there.
That would be a stupid reason to not. Yeah. No, he is, and he must, you know, I think he puts his money to good work, and I like the work that his wife does.
Yeah. Just keeps to himself. He just seems like a very matter of fact guy, and
he doesn't take himself too seriously either.
No,
as evidenced by every Coen Brothers movie that he is in. Like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, or like Burn After Reading. He's just a lovable idiot in those movies.
Well, and listening to co-hosts or co-stars talk about him, everyone loves working with him.
Yeah.
Apparently he's just a pleasure. All right, that ties up my loose end for the week. So We'll move into my pick. My pick for this week, I chose sport as my word.
Sport.
Sport. Just sport. And
okay.
My topic that I'm going to do was inspired by your topic from last week.
Hey.
Doing the planet ranking system. So I thought we could rank NFL teams, but kind of with a twist.
Whoa.
I thought we could do them.
Can we rank them by how edible they are?
Nope, we're going to rank them by our experiences with their fan bases.
Okay.
Yep. So I thought this would be fun because, we're both going to have different experiences with different groups of people, and then I also think there's some that we're not going to have experiences with.
But
basically, it'd be fun to see how things go. So we're going to start off. Are you watching? I'm sharing the screen with you.
Yep.
We're going to start off with the Arizona Cardinals.
I know that Nicole went to the Arizona Cardinals stadium once in high school.
That's the most you know about them?
That's all I got on the Cardinals.
So I'm gonna say that the Cardinals kind of get, for me, a pass into B tier, kind of middle of the ground, because they've kind of been decent or mediocrely bad for a long time. They had the run with Kurt Warner for a little bit, and then they had Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Boldin. They've had some really good receivers and good name stuff, but you had to really be a fan to stick with the Cardinals. You know what I mean? It's just past a few good seasons, you're not really getting much. So you just have to be diehard to be with them. And I just don't. I've never met a cocky Cardinals fan.
Yeah, it's too hot down there to get hot-headed.
Yeah, just overheat.
Yeah, right?
Would you agree B works for you, or
Sure, I have no reason to agree or disagree.
Okay. Second, we're gonna go with the Atlanta Falcons.
I think of Atlanta Falcons fans as Kyle, like the Kyle archetype.
Yes.
So not ideal. C maybe.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. Okay. They're the ones who talked a bunch of crap when the Falcons went to the Super Bowl against the Patriots, and then they immediately crawled back into the hole that no one knew they existed in once they lost that and blew that lead.
Yeah, I don't know. I see Atlanta fans have an unearned confidence. It's a skinny white dude with a Colt 45. 40,
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
The Dirty South.
Yeah, Dirty South.
All right, we got the Baltimore Ravens up next.
Baltimore Ravens. I know that the fan base as a whole can be pretty rowdy, but the one person that I know who is a Ravens fan is like a pretty solid dude. So I'm thinking that's going to be like a B.
I only know a few, and the ones that have been for a while are really good. The ones that are like only Ravens fans since Lamar Jackson entered the league, they can be kind of a lot to handle. But overall, I would say that they're pretty solid, and I would put them in B as well.
Cool.
Up next, we got the Buffalo Bills. Now, I'm going to let you speak first because I'm 100% biased in this. So we're going to have to kind of play off yours more than mine.
Buffalo Bills fans are a lot of fun, but they're a lot. You know what I mean by that? Like, Buffalo Bills fans, the best word to describe them is extra. The table smashing, and not only that, but not that long ago, I was talking about Bills fans, and I said something like, most of the people in my life are Bills fans living in Western New York, right?
Yep.
And like, I like when the people that I like are happy. So I like the Bills by proxy. Like, and I said something like, you win a game, you put someone through a table, you go home. And this person had to like correct me. Now, if you were really Bills Mafia, you would know that the table smashing comes before the game, not after. I'm like, Jesus. Like, I know that you guys smash tables. What more do you want from me? I don't know. I like that you like them. They're A tier. That holds me back from putting them at S tier for being a lot of fun, but A tier definitely.
I'm gonna say
there's a tier above S tier.
Yes. No, there's a tier below S tier that's in between, and that's gonna be called Bills Mafia, and that's where they go.
Okay, sure.
Because I don't know for me if there's a team above them, so they need to be. I don't know. They need to sit in their own spot.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't think I'm gonna put any fans in S tier.
You know what? Actually, yeah, because for me they're S tier, and I'll tell you why they're S tier. Simply because of all the stuff that they do to rally behind communities.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Josh Allen's grandmother passes away. They donate $400,000 to the Children's Hospital, and now the wing of the hospital is renamed in her honor. The Lamar Jackson gets injured against us in one of the games, and they donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to a charity in Lamar's name, just to show, like as a sign of get well, sorry it happened to you during our game. Andy Dalton throws a nice little completion to end up winning the game, to putting us into our first playoff berth in 20-something years. And they donated an assload of money to that. Nice. So like, they can be a lot, but they're also a lot in a lot of good ways.
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely.
Like I feel like that separates them from like the normal A tier, I would say. Like there's no other team in the NFL that I know of that at 2:30 in the morning, win or lose, there'll be 1,000 people at the airport waiting for the Bills plane to come in just to be there for the players.
Yeah.
It's like it's just like Von Miller said after he moved. It's just a different breed. He complained about the toilet paper during an interview, just kind of joking around how they don't have the nicest stuff, and he received like 50-something packages with all different kinds of like organic toilet paper and like
Hilarious.
The best toilet paper people could buy that they just sent him. He's like, there's fan bases are great everywhere. But he's like, there's just something about this. And I think it has to do with it being the small knit area, and it's something about surviving through all that turmoil of like, I mean, be honest, the Bills were the laughing stock of the NFL for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing people can ever say, boy, I love losing Super Bowls. What team has gone 4 times and didn't win any? Like, to be a Bills fan from that long ago is just like, I don't know. It's just a different breed.
Yeah, Bills fans are the opposite of fair weather fans.
Yeah, it's like that's. I feel like that's why they're a lot now. It's like the first time they've got to experience real joy,
and they earned it.
Yep. Some of them.
All right.
Don't, there's bandwagoners, of course. But
Yep.
all right.
What else
Up
we
next,
got?
Carolina Panthers.
I don't think they even register on my like criteria. I don't know. I don't know them. I don't know her.
So I have the experience of living in North Carolina for 5 years, so I experienced a lot of Panthers fans.
So this is all you.
Yeah. So they're kind of in the same boat with Buffalo, except for the situation where 2015 have a super successful year, make it to the playoffs, and flop. But before that they had a lot of disappointment. I mean, I think they came into the league in '95, so they haven't been in quite as long, but like quite a bit of disappointment. But generally, overall, just like a solid fan base. Like they're just here to have a good time. Like they loved the high of winning a lot, but it didn't get to their head because they didn't win it all. You know what I mean? Like they experienced like the amazing run in the season and like all that, but then it didn't deliver at the end. So like it didn't allow their heads to get too high up. So I would say they're A tier.
Okay, sure.
He said, yeah, you can put them wherever.
No, yeah, sure.
Up next, we got the Bears. The Bears. The Chicago Bears.
I don't know. I got the Super Bowl shuffle. B tier maybe. That's all I got.
See,
I don't know any Bears fans.
I don't know a lot of Bears fans, but here's what I'll say. I feel like any team that is just downright bad for that long, for there still to be fans, you gotta be at least B tier, maybe even A tier. Because, like, they've had less promise than us for the most part, than the Buffalo Bills. Like, think about the last time, like, they had Brian Urlacher back in the day when when we were growing up, but
they also had Rex Grossman at the time, so
yeah, they haven't had anything. So I feel like there's just I'm gonna say they're A tier. They're just the fans for the Bears are just diehard football fans.
Okie dokie.
Because they're not used to winning, but they love football. Yeah. I feel like that's what I get.
Yeah.
Up next, we got the Cincinnati Bengals.
I don't think I have any sense of the Bengals fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that they are a solid C tier for me. Simply because they would be A tier as like a team and a fan base because of Chad Johnson. Ochocinco was hilarious.
Okay.
But that's the only redeeming quality of them, and there's not really fans past those fans.
Cool.
So that's what I'm going to say.
Yep.
Up next, we got the Cleveland Browns.
Okay, this I may have to go back on what I said earlier. Cleveland Browns may be S tier fans. They have been so bad for so long, and Cleveland Browns fans still are full throated in their support of their team.
Yep. Like I can agree. Oh.
Like you may go to I've been to 2 different bars that are just decked out in Cleveland Brown memorabilia.
And the other thing is their memorabilia and stuff just sucks.
Yeah. Right?
They are the worst team and team name out there. There's nothing redeeming about just the Browns.
The Browns, and it's just an orange helmet.
Just an orange helmet with brown stripes.
Logo. Their logo is just their helmet, which they put on their helmet as the logo.
Yep. All right. Up next, we got the Detroit Lions.
I have heard good things about the Detroit Lions fans lately. They just seem like they're happy to be here.
Yep. I would say that they're an A tier for me.
Yeah, sounds good.
They're the same as the Bears. They play each other on Thanksgiving a lot, and they both suck. They're just happy to be alive. They're just happy to be here.
So the Bears fan base, I'm just remembering this. There's a TikTok I watched the other day. The Bears, not the Bears, Lions. Sorry, Detroit Lions is what we're talking about. But I saw one of their videos they posted on their TikTok, their official TikTok, and I'm like, what the heck does this even mean? It was someone frosting a cake with a shittily drawn lion. And they released a video a few days before where they challenged players to draw the Lions logo from memory. And this dude drew the fucking whack ass lion, and the lions made it their profile picture on TikTok, and they're like having cakes made for him. It's so good.
Yeah, definitely. The Denver Broncos.
I think the only Denver Broncos fan that I knew was Ken Bronson, and he was a pretty solid dude. So
he is. For me, they're C tier, and that is because they accomplished one thing. They got the Super Bowl when Manning was there, and it's 50-50 split. You got the Broncos fans, like my sister's boyfriend. He's an old school Broncos fan. But he doesn't like rub it in your face, try to pretend like there's something more than they are. Like, he's happy they won. Right. He's just a fan of the team. And then you got the Broncos fans that are still stuck in they still think Peyton Manning plays and they're still going to win the Super Bowl this year. Like, that's 50-50 which one you're going to get. So for me, that's C tier because they're just delusional.
I'm okay with that.
Up next, we got the Green Bay Packers.
They're like a fan-owned team, aren't they? Or something like that?
Yep.
So they got to be like A tier or S, A or S.
Yeah, I would put them in A tier.
A tier sounds good.
They're kind of they kind of have the same problem where they think they're a lot better than they are.
Yeah, sure. To be fair, the ESPN analysts give that a lot of fuel because the Green Bay is like one of the only teams they talk about.
Yeah, well, it's obviously right now Rodgers is in a weird position where they're not doing well this season. He had a lot of controversy with his stance on vaccinations and that kind of thing.
Astrology tattoos.
Yeah, and his talk about doing DMT and all that kind of stuff to help clear his mind, those kind of things. So he's got a lot of things up in the air.
Did you see Aaron Rodgers roll up to training camp dressed as Nick Cage from Con Air?
Yeah, it was the funniest shit in the world.
It was so good.
Yeah.
All right.
So good. Up next, we got the Houston Texans, and I'm just going to go ahead and put them right there because I don't think either one of them. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you have a story.
I was wondering what that tier was for. That makes sense.
Yeah. So the Houston Texan goes in the fan category of doesn't exist. They don't have fans, or they're just mid. Like, their fans just don't have. Their fans are mimes. They have no expression of actual hype. You could just see that they're there, they're doing stuff, but you don't actually know how they feel.
Yeah, right.
The Indianapolis Colts.
Shit if I know.
I'm gonna say they're a B tier for me.
Okay. You probably encountered more of them down south. I never know where Illinois is.
No, I don't. I've only encountered a few Indianapolis Colts fans. But the ones that I have, they're just solid. Like, it's kind of the one thing. They don't take themselves too seriously. How did that get up there?
I don't know, man.
Accidentally dragged one.
I mean, that's wrong. That was wrong. That was
wrong. Way wrong. Yeah, they're just a good old team. Oh. Nothing too crazy about them.
Okie dokie. Oh God, he's adding another category.
Yeah, I'm adding a new one. Real quick. Maybe real quick.
We're just doing it live at this point.
Yep, basically.
Are you gonna?
Okay, up next we got the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, is that why? Okay, yeah. Now I see why you made this category.
Yeah, so for me, Jacksonville Jaguars go right in the does not exist or mid tier. I don't know if you have anything to.
I mean, I thought you made the absolute worst tier for the Jacksonville Jaguars fans.
No, because they're fans. I don't know if they have fans.
I mean, their fans are Florida men. So
yeah, they're Florida men, but like some, I feel like most of the Florida fans are either Miami fans or Tampa fans.
Okay, here's what I think. I think the Jacksonville Jaguar fans thinks that the Atlanta Falcons fans are too mild.
Yeah.
This is the sense that I get. The Atlanta Falcons fan is slinging Bang energy drinks, and the Jacksonville Jaguar fans are slinging Four Locos.
So I would say then we'll put them in D because D is worse.
Yeah.
D is worse than doesn't exist. Like doesn't exist means that they just have no personality.
But now we have this absolute worst.
Oh, well, the absolute worst is only for the only team that, well, one of the two teams that needs to go there, and that is the Dallas motherfucking Cowboys. They have the worst fan base in the world.
Hey, that's America's team you're talking about.
Yeah, well, America's wrong.
Okay.
They are
Can I guess the other team that you want to put down here?
Yeah.
Steelers.
Yes. They can go right there with them. They're just so fucking angry, cocky, and annoying.
Yep.
Both fan bases. Like, they can't... They're... No Dallas fan or Pittsburgh fan has ever just conceded an argument. Be like, agree to disagree. Has never happened. You can guarantee it. Right. They won't walk away. They're just going to argue until you die or you agree with them. Those are the two options.
Steelers fans are going to see their quarterback put his face into the asphalt because he wasn't wearing a helmet, and they'll go, he doesn't have to wear a helmet. He lives in Pennsylvania. Good for him.
That and like the whole like stuff with Ben Roethlisberger, or like his sexual assault allegations and stuff that just kind of got swept under the rug and nothing ever happened. Like that organization, they can choke for all I care. Dallas, but Dallas is by far the worst. I mean, Fair enough. Dallas Cowboys are Dallas Cowboys fans are the Yankees fans of football.
I don't know. I know baseball's a more popular sport. I was gonna say they're the Toronto Maple Leafs fans because they used to be really good. And they're not no more, but they still think they are.
Same. That's the same as the Cowboys, because the Cowboys were super good back in the early 90s.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I was saying that I don't think the Yankees is a good
the Yankees
point of comparison. Yankees are decent, right? Like they make the playoffs and
they're decent, but they haven't been good in a while. But it's like
fair enough.
It's the default team.
Yeah, sure.
And they're just insufferable. Up next, we got the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't think I personally know a Chiefs fan, but I get the sense that their fan base is just like cocky and pompous.
They are insufferable.
So like C or D.
I'm not going to put them in C. I don't think they belong in the Jacksonville Jaguars tier.
Yeah,
but
they're not belligerent.
Here's the thing: the Kansas City Chiefs team, everything about them, their players, their coaching staff, the whole organization, great. They are a solid team. Andy Reid, great coach. Patrick Mahomes, phenomenal quarterback, seems like a really good guy. Great. Their fan base just wants to fucking argue all the time, all of the time. They'll literally just be on a Bills, like in a Bills group for a Bills like fan page on Twitter. There'll just be like people talking about how good of a year Josh Allen is having. And there's just always these 5 or 6 fucking people that have Patrick Mahomes' face as their fucking profile picture that just, well, he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet. Well, he hasn't been to the AFC Championship game. What has he done that Mahomes hasn't done? Motherfucker, I don't care. This is our space to talk. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, right?
Nobody invited you here. Nobody said that Patrick Mahomes wasn't good. You're just being a dick because the spotlight isn't on you anymore right now because Allen is playing better at the moment.
Yeah.
It's just simple fact, and they can't deal with it, so they just have to come and fucking just
fun
run their mouths. So, yeah, they can go on C tier because the organization, if it wasn't for the fans, the organization, they would be A, maybe even S. Maybe even like tied with Buffalo, I would say. Like, because the organizations are great and there's some really good fans. But then there's just the fucking turds that just sink to the bottom and sit there. And they just ruin the rest of the fucking batch.
Yeah, yeah.
We have
what do we got?
The LA Chargers.
Solid C tier.
Yep. I would say
Fairweather fans.
Fairweather fans.
Including me.
And the Spanos family just fucking sucks.
I don't know nothing about that.
They're just shitbags. Both of the brothers are huge sexist fucks. And just like bad enough where their sister is trying to take over ownership from them because they're just dickholes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's really something that I had no clue about because I stopped paying attention because I'm a bad fan.
They I feel like they don't have great fans because of the family, because they pissed away great opportunities to become something. How do you not win a Super Bowl with LaDainian Tomlinson, Antonio Gates, Sean Merriman, Junior Phillip Rivers,
Vincent
Jackson? How are you not winning a Super Bowl or even really making a deep run into the playoffs? They pissed it away.
I heard some analyst, one of the more reasonable analysts, talk about, and I agree with him, that the Chargers are the single worst managed team over the past 25 years. Because, how do you have all that talent? How are you so good on paper? Phillip Rivers had a Hall of Fame career and won 3 playoff games.
Had a Hall of Fame career if he had won playoff games. I don't think he makes the Hall of Fame.
You don't?
Nope.
I don't know. His numbers are big.
His numbers are big because he played for a long time, but he just didn't. They didn't do enough to help him. Their defense was either always mediocre, or by the time the defense had gotten some kind of stoutness behind it, all of his weapons were gone.
Yeah.
And somehow they just pissed it away.
Somehow their offensive line's always terrible too, but whatever.
All right. We have the Los Angeles Rams up next.
I don't know. I mean, I know that they had a really good fan base when they were in St. Louis. I don't know what's happened with that, but it's LA, so fair weather fans, right?
You know what? I'm actually gonna say no. Their fans are something I didn't expect, and that's
okay.
They won the Super Bowl last year, right? And they're getting the shit pummeled out of them this year. Like, they're not doing well.
Okay.
And I have not seen any complaints really from people.
Okay.
I just think that they have a solid fan base that just loves the fact that they're, there. I also really respect the management and the fact that they're kind of like, they kind of set the example for like how football's going to go for the next few years, I feel like, which is like, you got to go all fucking in. Like, it's about winning.
Yeah.
Like,
they're taking the Lakers approach.
Yeah. So like bringing in Sean McVay and like having that offensive minded young coach, not these dinosaurs of Bill Belichick and Mike Tomlin and again, John Harbaugh. No, Andy Reid is surprisingly the one that like everybody learns from.
Really?
Because he's always been offensive minded, which is why like the Eagles had so much success with McNabb being there and stuff. Yeah, he's always been way ahead of the game. And I think he would have had even a better career had the people realized how good he was, and if he had gotten a chance just being a head coach earlier and wasn't an offensive coordinator for so long.
Yeah. So where are you putting the Rams?
I'm gonna put the Rams in A.
Good. I'm good with that.
We have the Oakland Raiders.
Los Angeles.
But they're not in Oakland anymore. They're in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Ooh, Vegas fans are kind of loyal, aren't they?
They're loyal, but they smell like cigarette smoke in my brain.
Sure. I mean, what else is there to do in the middle of the desert?
I don't know why. Anytime I think of the Las Vegas or Oakland Raiders, all I can think about is those old puffy, like Reebok puff NFL jackets. And like, they just smell like old stale cigarette smoke. Cause like the Green Bay Packer one that Biz wore, that had like the Velcro pouch on the front. Like, all I can picture is
the starter jacket.
All I can picture is every old Las Vegas Raiders fan having one of those and it smelling like stale cigarettes. Mm-hmm. So
okay,
I don't know where to put them based on that. Like, they're loyal, maybe B.
I have no sense. Well, here's the thing: is it's another team that's moved recently. I don't know what happened to their Oakland fans. Did they stick around? Because I know that like Las Vegas sports fans are pretty good.
Yeah.
When I look at like the Black Knights in hockey.
Yep.
Too, like they're loyal fans, surprisingly, for like a weird town like that.
Yeah.
City, whatever. But the Oakland fans were not great. They were like big rowdy dudes. So this is a complicated one, I think.
Yeah.
I think I'm falling between B and C, and I'll let you cast whether it's in those.
I'm gonna say B for the simple fact that I don't have any real negative experiences with them.
Right. Not any like modern negative experiences.
Like
you watch like the old clips of like the dog pound or whatever they called it.
No, dog pound was the Browns.
Yeah, that was the Browns. But yeah, they had a similar, just like rowdy section of the end zone.
I feel like I want to make another tier, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
But just know that up next we have the Miami Dolphins, and if I had made another tier, the Miami Dolphins fans would go into delusional tier.
Can we just make D tier Florida and put the Miami Dolphins in there too?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they're just delusional. You know what? Here, I'll do you one better.
Just make it Florida. Oh, delusional.
D for delusional. Because I feel like in every Miami Dolphins fan, they still believe that they're the 72 Dolphins and they're undefeated. Like every time there's a glimmer of hope and they win one game, you just see the flock. It's our year. We're going to the bowl. Like, calm down. You guys beat the Browns. Like
believe. No, wait. It's not ours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up next, we got the Minnesota Vikings.
I have no frame of reference for Vikings fans.
I'm going to say that they are, for me, a solid B tier. They have solid fans. I have nothing negative to really say about them.
Okay.
I don't have positives to say to like warrant putting them in A tier with the other ones, but putting them in, I don't have anything negative to drop them to below B.
Mm-hmm.
The New England Patriots.
I don't know. My thoughts on the Patriots kind of go back and forth. Patriots. They've changed because they're not as dominant anymore.
Yeah, like their cockiness faded, and I feel like the ones. Okay, so here's the thing: all the delusional, like dickish, cocky ones, they left and became Tampa Bay fans.
Sure, yeah,
100% what happened. So now you're left with like just the diehard, like from the New England area, New England fans. I can respect sticking to your guns and dealing with a team that's like clearly nowhere near where they used to be. I can respect that.
I think of Patriots fans as quiet. They wear their fandom. They spend a lot of money on Patriots merch.
Yeah.
But they're not. I feel like they're not in your face about it.
No.
B?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay.
They would have been 3 years ago. They would have been right there with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cowboys.
Yeah, right.
Up next, we have the New Orleans Saints.
I don't know.
I just feel like they're a good time.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I don't really have any experiences with them, but like watching the games and stuff, it just looks like I can just imagine in New Orleans, like you're just going down there, you're having a good time, you're eating good food, you're having good drinks. And like, yes, they're probably, super into their team, but I don't see like, I don't have anything negative to say about them.
If there's any team that exists on island time, it's probably the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
So I'm going B.
Yep. Okay with that. The New York Giants. The New Jersey Giants.
Forget about it.
Yep.
I don't know. My brother's a Giants fan, so I'm biased, I think. We know a lot of people who are Giants fans being like halfway from Buffalo to New York City.
Yeah, so I think that over the last like 10 years, my perception of Giants fans have changed because after they had that stint of the Manning name making Giants fans way too cocky, because let's face it, Eli Manning's 2 Super Bowls, real lucky.
Yeah.
Those catches, real lucky. They rode the name for those years into like believing that they were unstoppable.
Yep.
However, then they went through a real big period of sucking. And now they have Brian Daboll, the Bills' old offensive coordinator. They're off to a good start. I really like what they're doing over there. Their camp is good. You know, we always got to take the jabs and say they don't play in New York, but I like and respect what they're doing in Giants camp, and their fans have become much more tolerable for me because they're not pretentious or trying to be in your face.
I
would
am
say
feeling
A-tier.
this A tier.
I don't know what you feel.
I'm feeling it. I was gonna say B, but I'm okay with A. The Jets.
Up next, yeah, the New York Jets.
The Jets are, to me, the Jets are a step. Oh, for real?
Because the Jets just suck. They have sucked. They had one good run where they had, you know, Revis Island and stuff. But overall, the Jets have just sucked. And to be a fan of the Jets is the same as just being a fan of the Browns.
Okay, but here's the difference in my mind. The Browns fans they like a bad team, but they're cool about it. The Jets fans like a bad team, but they're angry about it.
See, I only know I don't know really anybody. I only know one person that's angry about it. And that's whatever his name, your brother's friend. I
can't keep track of all their favorite teams.
Oh, he used to live with Matt.
Used to live with Matt.
Rendez? Yeah.
No.
Works at fuck. God, why can't I think of Jordan?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Like he was an aggressive Jets fan. And okay, I know two. Him and Derek.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Both not, but they're like outliers. I don't know. I would be okay with putting them.
I think A tier is fine.
A tier.
I'm hesitant to put them in S unless I meet like a really nice Jets fan tomorrow.
Well, like for me, Tom, you remember Tom that used to come into replay?
Yeah, sure.
Collector. He's a Jets fan, and like he'll like poke fun at me, but it was all in good fun. Like he's a realist, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Up next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles.
The town has to grease up lampposts so that fans don't climb them after a big win or a big loss. Yep. They're at best C tier.
Yeah, I would agree. They're also I'm like
really hesitant to break up the Florida tier of delusional.
They're like one bad play call from a statewide riot every game.
Yeah, I know.
Like their fans they don't fuck around.
They do not.
We're like real close to just having to turn the Eagles Stadium into a state penitentiary. So they're going in C tier.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to go with the Seattle Seahawks.
I don't know how they are recently. I sort of think of them the same way that I think of Kansas City fans.
Yep.
A little pretentious, little high on their horse.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay.
So they're gonna sit and see. Up next, we have the San Francisco 49ers.
I don't really know. They just seem kind of solid in there. Yeah. So B or A?
I'm going to say A. They used to be in the same boat as
Cowboys.
The Cowboys and the Steelers, where they were living in the past of...
Living in those Jerry Rice days.
Jerry Rice, Steve Young days.
Yep.
But they've moved on past, and they just overall, like... I think they've edged for so long. Like they've almost got into like the Super Bowl. Like they do well, they're doing good, they make it into the playoffs, they maybe win one game and then they lose. And then and that's happened for like
they're playing tantric football.
Yeah, tantric football. So like I feel like that happening is like mellowed the fans down.
Yeah, sure.
They're like, oh man, come on, just let it happen already. Like, so that puts them at A for me. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh boy, I'm real tempted to put them in Florida tier, but I don't know.
I just don't hear much.
My union president, my local union president, is a Buccaneers fan, and I gotta say he loves having Brady there, and he will try to bring it up like once a month during the meetings. So
yeah, but has he always been a Bucs fan, or did he become a Bucs fan? Yeah, I'll say C. C for them. Just because I think there's a lot of fans that are a lot of them that are just like they're happy Brady's there, but they're not like dickish about it.
I feel like they respect Brady too.
Yeah.
Like they respect what they got in Brady.
Yeah. I mean, what's not to? I mean, he came
cool
down and won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're cool with him retiring. They're cool with him coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe that moves him up to B.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay.
Like,
I really wanted them to go down in D tier, and we could have just renamed that whole thing Florida, but
yeah,
I don't think that's it.
No, and there's a lot of like really cool like diehard Bucks fans from like.
Yep.
Because here's the thing. So I will say this, and this might help you ease into where we're putting them. Tampa Bay is the only team, to my knowledge, I just looked at this the other day, the only team that has a below
winless
500 record overall.
Oh,
ever. Overall, like since time, they are below 500.
Okay, yeah. You gotta be a good fan.
Yeah, you gotta be a good fan to be able to stick through that. Like, just granted, they haven't been around as long as some of the other ones.
Sure, but still.
Yeah, but still. Up next, we have the Tennessee Titans.
Don't exist.
Yeah, don't exist. The ones that I feel like people just like Derrick Henry or Mike Vrabel, or the only other people that are fans of them are people that are super old that still think they're the Houston Oilers.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So yeah, don't exist or mid. And lastly, we have the Washington Commanders.
I will let you take this one. I have no idea what this fan base is like after the logo change and all that.
I don't think 90% of the fans care.
Okay.
There's
that
also
one guy there's that one guy that I see driving around who just has Redskins Forever stickers all over his car, and he wears a jacket like that, and I'm like, come on, dude.
So here's the thing. I think they go in don't exist or mid, and here's the reason.
Okay.
Redskins are in a really fucking weird situation where, like, you don't know where the fans are.
Yeah, sure.
Most of Maryland is Baltimore fans, the Ravens fan. And then most of Philadelphia, most of Pennsylvania is Eagles fans. But there's like just this sliver where the two states come together of Washington Commanders fans.
What about Virginia?
Yeah.
Where does Virginia fall?
Virginia is just up in the air.
Virginia's Carolina fans, probably.
Virginia is just a mix. Virginia's a mixed bag. You don't know who they're going with. So I feel like the Washington fans just kind of fit in there because of that.
Okay.
Like, they just don't know where they're going. So, yeah. So that's our finished tier list. So in a rundown, we have the Browns in S tier, Browns fans S tier.
Can't believe they're the only ones that made it up there.
I can. Then we had a tier dedicated to Bills Mafia. They're above A, not quite to the level of the shittiness that the Browns fan have had to deal with.
So extra.
So we got they are extra. I'm not proving it. So we got them in the Bills Mafia tier.
Yep.
In A tier, we have Carolina Panthers, Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, LA Rams, New York Giants, New York Jets, and the San Francisco 49ers. All solid franchises, solid fan bases. In B tier, we have the Arizona Cardinals, Baltimore Ravens, Indianapolis Colts, Las Vegas Raiders, Minnesota Vikings, New England Patriots, the New Orleans Saints, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Edit. Can we move the Arizona Cardinals down to don't exist?
Sure.
I don't think I got that tier when we started, and that was the first team that we did, so.
Yep. Okay. We'll do don't exist. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
In C tier, we have the Atlanta Falcons, Cincinnati Bengals, Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, LA Chargers, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Seattle Seahawks. They all have teams that could be good and fan bases that could be good if they choose to stop being shitheads, but there's just, unfortunately, a lot of shitheads.
It goes one way or the other, doesn't it? It's a team that could be good that has shitty fans, or it's a team that is bad, well, that also has shitty fans, but for different reasons. Because that's like what Atlanta's like, right? Like, they had the one good year, but...
Yeah. Then in the D tier, which has just been coined as the delusional tier, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins, because they both think that they're something that they're not. The next tier is dedicated to the absolute worst, and who else would you see there but the two worst teams in football, according to fan base? That is the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll go on record and say that 99.9% of the fan bases that I meet from those two teams are insufferable.
Yeah, man.
They can't let anybody that doesn't like their team in the room have a good time.
Yep.
That's just,
Cowboys are just stuck in the golden years.
Yep. Just stuck
Back
there.
in high school, I could throw this pigskin clean over those mountains.
Yep. And then we have our last tier, the do not exist or mid tier, and that is your Houston Texans, Tennessee Titans, Washington Commanders, and the newly added Arizona Cardinals. And that concludes our tier list. I feel like that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I feel like that works. It
was definitely different. I like having the different point of views, like from our experiences, shape these. I feel like it's cool to kind of, because there's like discourse between us to figure out where they go, rather than just like you see a lot of people do like one person doing a tier list, but then it's your just singular opinion. But I feel like having two people that have to, granted, like I'm way more into football than you, but like you still have opinions, and like from just meeting people, which is why I thought this was a cool way to do it, because it's not really about football, it's about interactions.
And it's kind of interesting how many of these came down to, well, I knew this one guy who was a fan of this team and he was pretty cool, so
yeah. Well, that is going to do it for my topic this week, and with that we will take it to the intro or outro. We do that every time.
Yeah. In out outro. Got it. Bye. Thank you and congratulations for making it to the end of this episode of Quord on the Street. We have been your hosts, Vince and Josh. You can find us on our socials. You can find us on Twitter at Quord on the Street, QUORD on the ST. If you're listening to us on YouTube /Quord on the Street, go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment. And wherever you're listening to us, whether it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you can leave a review, please leave us a review. If you tell us what we can do worse, I promise I will read it on the podcast, unless it's just too mean.
If you have any need to contact us in a longer format, you can email us at quordonthestreet@gmail.com, or you can visit us on our website, quordonthestreet.xyz. Feel free to leave us a voice message on there. If you want to reach out to us individually, you can get a hold of us at our personal Twitters. Mine is at I'm Scuzzy, IMSKUZZEY.
And I am at V_C, spell out the underscore. We would finally like to acknowledge the people that made this podcast happen. Josh Wardle, who is the original creator of Wordle.
And Freddie Meyer, the creator of Quordle, who you can find on Twitter at Quordle.
And with that, we will just ask you, as always, to
get the Quord out.